He claims today that you accused him of stealing inside the company.
No, that is not true. Definitely that is not true. Mostly because I never heard anything compared to that situation. I never heard or I never noticed that he was involved in any situation of robbery or stuff like that. There was actually people who were linked to that, including 2 managers who were later on sacked from the company because they were stealing stuff, and they were actually part of some kind of network that were receiving. There was people already ready to receive the stolen material and resell it in the market, but I don't know. I never heard anything that he was related. He was related to it. The only thing that someone probably close to him did, and if he's about that he's talking about, he's mistaken, because there was 2 telephones that disappeared in the office. I know who did it, but never spoke to anyone saying who did it. And I know where those phones that disappeared ended up. Obviously, I'm not going to tell here in public because it is a sensible matter, and I don't want to compromise anyone. But he had nothing to do with that, and I never accused or suggested that was him who did that. So probably someone who didn't like him probably did that, or there was some kind of confusion, because it might happen that he knew the guy who stole the phones, or have a close relationship to him, I don't know. And so, because they were close, someone thought that he was involved and accused him. So, but it wasn't me, definitely, who did that. So he cannot say, he cannot say in good conscience that I accused him, because I didn't do. And the other thing that is in my favor is that I never was inquired about that robbery. Nobody approached me and asked me, do you know if João was involved? So that question never was asked to me. And actually, we spoke in private a couple times about that. So I had a feeling about who did it, because I noticed a few circumstances. But one thing is when you figure out that something has happened. Another thing is to give complete evidence that that thing is happening. So I never reported to the company exactly who I thought had stolen. So that's something that I still keep for myself, because whoever did it, I guess I have the feeling that he sold the material and he wasn't get paid. So that's it. Just popular justice.
So why he accuses you of accusing him?
I don't know. I just think someone is pushing him to say that. He has that anger that he was rejected in that homosexual approach. Since then, he started to talk against me to everybody, and he was turning people against me. I remember that I was unloading a truck with a fellow from any country in Africa, I presume Sierra Leone, and someone, Portuguese, approached me shouting with me, and I had no idea what was going on. So, and that person threatened me of violence, of punching me, and he advanced towards me. So by the time I report to the company, but I didn't go to the police because I didn't know the law here in UK, if you argue with something, if you threat someone, and if you approach to him with that intention that sounds like he's going to hit you even if he doesn't touch you, that is already common assault under the English law. Probably there they have a similar law, so I didn't know the law. That's why I didn't go to the police. So later on I had been told that the person was upset with me because allegedly I told in the office that he was doing a welding course, and to be honest, I even didn't know that he was doing a welding course. So it couldn't be me, the person who spoke in the office, that he was doing. But who told that person, Manuel, I think that is his name, that I told in the office that he was doing a welding course? It was João. Later on, I found out that it was João who poisoned the mind of that person against me. And I was lucky because a couple of weeks later, I was gone. I came to UK. I came to England. Otherwise, if I would stay there, I would have serious problems. I'm constant, and I didn't know the source of the problem. Now I know. You understand? So João is a troublemaker, and he became a troublemaker against myself.
Changing the subject, what about those ladies in Brazil? They are saying that you had sex with them.
I do not know, to be honest. I have no explanation for this. First of all, I do not know them. I have no idea who are them. I don't remember to come across with people like them. I have been seeing some pictures of them because they are on Facebook, and people find them and send me the pictures. And to be honest, first, I don't know them in person. And second, none of them are my kind. None of them are the kind of woman that would make me lose my mind and forget about the Bible principles. So that is the first thing.
How do you think this story came up? Even in the Netherlands and in Portugal they speak a bit about this.
It sounds like that someone who might be similar to me took advantage of that, and probably in preparation for this situation. Probably sooner or later they knew that they'll need to kick me out from the congregation, and they'll need a strong allegation, and then probably this was a trap. Probably I have been framed without knowing. I remember years ago when I was in the Netherlands, immediately in the beginning, when I went to the consulate, which was at the time was in Rotterdam. The front desk clerk asked me, "Are you sure you're not registered in here? It's because there has been a guy similar to you here hanging around. You have to be careful." So at the time, because he was a funny person, I took that as a joke. But now it looks like it was true. So there was really someone similar to me, Portuguese also, who was doing stuff and pretending that was me. So it might be the situation that happened in Brazil. About the Netherlands, what they speak in the Netherlands about this subject. Well, there was a lot of rumors about the reasons why I was going so many times to Brazil. To be honest, I could not tell anybody. The people who were living with me mostly, I could not tell them the reason why I was traveling to Brazil. So when they start to talk about that I was going there to meet with ladies for this, for that, I let them talk. I didn't deny, but I didn't confirm. So I just allowed those stories to circulate because I couldn't tell the reason. I'm not allowed to talk publicly about the reason why I went to Brazil so many times in 2007. I'm allowed to speak to the elders, but they don't want to speak to me. So that's the thing. If they want to know what I did in Brazil, they have to speak to me. Otherwise, nobody will know. I cannot speak publicly. I'm not authorized to tell. Even today, I'm not authorized to tell what I did in Brazil. But definitely, it was not about those ladies because, as I said minutes ago, I never have seen them before in my life. Because it doesn't make any sense going to Brazil on purpose only for a matter of sex. We know that Brazil is a popular destination for sexual tourism, but at the time I was living in the Netherlands and I had a car, it was easier, quicker and cheaper to go to Poland or to Czech Republic because it's two popular sexual tourism destinations for the Central European countries. I know plenty of people in Germany and Holland that travel to those countries on a regular basis only for sex, for cheap sex, and I never did that. I lived in both countries. I lived in Germany and I lived in the Netherlands, and I never traveled, I never stepped my feet on those countries. So that means that my traveling to Brazil had another purpose, and nothing as the people was thinking. Because when you think about Brazil, you think about samba. Let's talk from the point of view of a young man like I was, and like the others in the Netherlands who were surrounding me were. When you think about Brazil, you think about samba, you think about carnival, you think about the ladies, the mulatas. You understand? They think about sex. But that was not my case. If I wanted sex, I would go to other country, which was cheaper and closer. You understand? Not to Brazil. So the Brazilian journeys, it had another purpose. As I mentioned before, I cannot talk about in public about it.
Okay, we have enough information about what is really going on. Thank you very much for placing yourself available to speak to us.